Okay, guys, so this week we are talking about author's organization and how different texts are organized differently for you to understand them. And today we are going to talk about sequential text or sequence. Okay, and so one text that we can see all the time in our everyday lives that's important to both you and me if we like to eat food is sequential text in the form of a recipe. Usually on the back of a box or in different cookbooks or something, they will have recipes that are sequential. That means they go step by step. And so on this box, which I'll be using today, it tells me all the ingredients and all the tools that I need, and then it tells step by step exactly what to do. So I'm going to read this and then we're going to activate it step by step. So what I'm going to be needing is I'm going to be needing water. Boom. I'm going to be needing oil. I thought I was frying something. And I'm going to be needing some eggs. Okay? So I got all the ingredients I need. I'm also going to need a bowl and a spoon to stir with. And then obviously a pan to put it in and an oven. Okay? So the first step, if you guys can see, heat. Okay. So the heat one, it says that I need to grease my pan and I need to set my oven to 350 degrees. So I'm going to walk over to the oven. I'm going to turn this sucker on. Okay. And then I have a pan, oil the pan. I'm going to spray it down. Okay. The next thing on my sequential list is I am to stir. So it says pour the brownie mix, the water, oil, and eggs in a medium bowl until well blended. Spread in the pan. So I need to stir all the ingredients together in a bowl and then put them evenly in the pan. See, I can't make brownies without instructions. So here we go. It's time to make the brownies. So I'm going to get the brownie mix. Pour it in the bowl. Oh, I love me some brownies. It's gonna be good. Okay, so the first thing listed after the brownie mix was the water. So I have my water and I have a, it said 3 tablespoons. So I'm gonna dip it in. 1, 2, 3. You know, and sometimes it's safe to reread, so I'm going to go back to the back of my box, and it says I need a half a cup of vegetable oil. So I have a measuring cup here. I'm going to pour out a half of a cup. Like I said, I thought I was frying something here. Okay. Pour that in. And then the last thing that needs to go in is I need 2 eggs. So boom, bada bing. Get that in there. And then it says to stir well. What is your favorite type of brownie? You like fudge brownies? Sometimes they even have blonde ones. Blonde brownies. So it says to stir well. That means we probably need to get all the bumps out and all those dry ingredients that are in there. They need to become wet ingredients. Did you guys see how I use fractions in my cooking? We're using both reading and math in everyday life. Okay, it says once it's blended, then I need to pour it in. So you can see it's well blended. My oven's ready. It's beeping in the background. So I'm going to pour all this in. Pour it in, pour it in. We don't want to miss anything. The best part of all of this is licking the spatula. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm still cooking. Okay, so I'm going to save the rest for me. Okay, and then it says to spread evenly, so I'm going to spread it out. Okay. And then it has one more step. So it says on the directions, it says bake as directed in the chart or until the toothpick inserted 2 inches from the side of the pan comes out almost clean and cool. So then I have a graphic feature right here. And it tells you the different pan sizes, and that tells you the temperature and how long it needs to cook. So I have a 13 by 9 pan, and so I need to cook it for 22 minutes. Guys, it's just that simple. It's just that simple. So this is what we call sequential text. Right after this video, I'm going to be reading another text to you, and I want you to notice some of the similar patterns that may be different. It could be the water cycle. It could be something else step by step. So be looking for the patterns of step by step or things going in a cycle for sequential text. Okay, guys, so we are going to practice using sequential text, and so I want you to be noticing how things flow and get a feel for this type of article. Anytime we read an article, we read the title, we look at the graphic features and the captions, and we also pay attention to bold words we may or may not know. And so here's the full article. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to zoom in as I read it. And so be paying attention to those things as we move forward. What happens when you throw a plastic bottle in the trash can? It all depends on which trash can. If you throw a bottle in a regular garbage pile, it will probably wind up in a landfill. A landfill is basically a big hole in the ground that is used as a garbage dump. Garbage goes in and gets covered up. However, if you throw your plastic bottle in a recycling can, something very different happens. That bottle gets remade into a new plastic. It will have another life as a toy or carpet or clothing. In 2001, a little less than 30% of the waste in the United States was recycled. That's a figure from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Follow the pictures below to see what happens to a recycled plastic bottle. The Recycle Center. At the recycling center, plastic bottles of all sorts are collected. They are sorted by color and type. Take a look at that picture. Two, the bottle crusher. Bottles of the same type are crushed into bundles. These bundles are being loaded onto a big truck. Then they are taken to a processing plant. Number 3, goodbye bottles. The old bottles are put into machines that break them into tiny pieces. 4, hello plastic. The pieces are washed and melted. The melted plastic is shaped into balls. And then 5, a new life. The tiny balls of plastic are packed in barrels and sent to factories. They can be made into lots of things, like fleece clothing. This playground equipment was made of recycled plastics. Okay, guys, that's our article, The Recycle Story. I want you to answer the questions that follow in regards to all the things that I instructed you at the beginning.